Welcome back guys. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the CSS. So far we have discussed about the basic tags in HTML like h1 tags, p tags, image tags, anchor tags, etc. So from now this video onwards we are going to learn HTML with the help of CSS. So let's start with the definition of CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. The name suggests that it is a style sheet. CSS is the language we use to style an HTML document, or we can call it as HTML element. CSS describes how HTML elements should be displayed on the web page. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and it is used to style HTML documents or HTML elements. HTML elements are the basic building blocks of the web pages, and by default they are like skeletons. They do not have any styling. So we will use CSS, means Cascading Style Sheet, to make the styles in web applications. And CSS also describes the how HTML should be displayed on the web page. That means we will add the HTML elements on the web page, but they do not have any behavior. That will be added automatically when you write text in the .html files. But when you use CSS in your web application, we can arrange the HTML elements anywhere in the web page as per our requirements. Now let's see the CSS advantages in the practical. Here you can see this is one of the web application that I have developed using the HTML but without CSS. So if you want to add CSS to the same website, you can make this website like this. Here you can see this is the same code in the both web pages. This is the without CSS and this is with CSS. So you can observe the differences between both the web applications, like with CSS and without CSS. So you can make any web page fully styled using the CSS, inline styling in CSS. In the previous lecture only we have discussed there are three ways to apply styling to the HTML elements. Now we are going to discuss about the first way, which is called as inline styling. So first I will create a new HTML file in the front end folder. Inline.html. So first we will create one element in the HTML, then we will apply inline styling to that element. So let me complete the HTML formalities. HTML, then we have to write the head. In the head we have to write the title. The title is inline styling. And now I am going to move into the body part. So in the body part I will create one h1 tag. This is inline styling. So this is the text in h1 tag. Now I am going to execute this inline.html page. Let me open Google Chrome, and in the URL I'll write C:, the desktop, the folder name is frontend, and the file name is inline.html. Inline.html. You can see we got the output. This is inline styling. So now I am going to apply any one of the styling property to this h1 element. This is the h1 HTML element which is used to represent the side headings in web pages. Now I am going to add some styling to this page, or you can add styling to this single element. So now I am going to add only style to entire page, means body. I am going to add the background color to the body using inline styling. So initially the background color of this body is white. Now I want to change it to the blue color. How can we do that? Using the inline styling. So first we have to apply the style attribute to the body element. Already we have discussed about the attributes. Attributes are the properties to the HTML elements. Now I am going to write style attribute to this body element. So let me write some text like style. You can see here this is the attribute. Every attribute is denoted by attribute name followed by the equal to operator, then it followed by the double quotes. Here we have to write the CSS styling. After writing the style attribute, we have to write the CSS styling in these double quotes. So as I said, we are going to apply the background color to this body. So here background color is the property and the color name is the value. Every CSS styling will be like this only. We have the property name and we have the value. So first I will write the property. The property is background color. Background color. Here you can see background color. BACKGROUND, background hyphen color. This is the property for applying background color using the inline styling. So after writing the property name, we have to write the value. Which color you want to add to the body background? I want to add the blue background color. So you have to write the color name. That's it. Hit Ctrl S and in the Google Chrome you have to hit the refresh button. After clicking the refresh button, you can able to see the blue background color in this web page. Here you can see the color of the web page is changed from white background color to the blue background color. We have applied these styling using inline. We have not written any separate styles like inline.css etc. We have written everything in the body element only. This is called as inline styling. We have to write the styling in that component only. We can call it as component or we can call it as element, whatever it may be. You have to write at the same place. Suppose if you want to apply background color to the h1 element, you can do that also. So here also you have to write style attribute. Style. So here I want to add the h1 background color as green. Here also we have to write the same property. Property means CSS property. Which property you are going to add? I am going to add the background color. Background color. Background hyphen color. For the h1 text, I want to add the background color as green. Here we are not focusing on CSS properties. We have one more lecture about the CSS color properties. Here we are focusing only on different types of CSS styling. We can apply using inline, we can apply using external, etc. That's why here we are concentrating only on the ways of applying CSS to the HTML elements. We'll be having separate lecture on CSS color properties. Don't worry about these properties. We are going to learn thoroughly about this. So here the h1 background color is green. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see the h1 background color is green. If you observe the body background color, we have blue. If you observe the h1 background color, it is green. Suppose if you want to change, you can change it using just replacing the color name. I want to change the background color to the red color from blue color. Ctrl S. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see the web page background color is changed from blue to red. Suppose if you want to change the h1 background color also, you can do that. I want to change the h1 background color from green to yellow. Yellow and black are good combination. Yellow. Ctrl S. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the red page background color and we got the yellow text background color which is applied to h1. So not only one element, you can add inline styling to any number of elements. Suppose if you want to add these inline styling to the paragraph tags, you can do that. So let me create one paragraph p tag. In this p tag, I will copy some text from Google. So I will write CSS. So copy this paragraph about the CSS and paste it in the paragraph tag. So to see entire paragraph, you have to click the toggle word wrap, Ctrl S. Let me see the output whether the paragraph is added or not. Here you can see the paragraph is added successfully. If you observe the output here, the paragraph background color is transparent. Means we can able to see the paragraph background color as red only. Suppose if you want to change the paragraph background color, you have to add inline styling to that paragraph using the style attribute. So we have to do the same thing which we have did for h1 and body. So I will write the style attribute for the paragraph, and here also we are going to add the same property, background color. And for the paragraph, I want to add the background color as brown. not brown, yellow completed, red completed. So we will add the background color as orange. Control S. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see we have the background color as body background color as red, H1 text background color as yellow, and the paragraph background color as orange. So like this way we can apply inline styling to the HTML elements. Once again I want to tell this video is about learning different ways to write CSS in the HTML. This video is not for CSS properties. We have separate lectures for the CSS properties. How to write inline styling to the HTML elements. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the second way of writing CSS in HTML pages, which is called as internal styling. So let me open VS Code and I will create the new file with the name internal.css, not CSS, HTML, internal.html. Already we have completed the inline styling. Now we will be moving from inline styling to the internal styling. So first I will complete the HTML formalities. HTML head. In this head we have to write the title. Title, and the title is internal styling. Control S. Now I will create the body. In the body I will create one h1 tag with the value. This is internal styling. So let's execute this program. So here we have to just change the file name. In place of inline.html we have to write internal.html. Here we go, we got the output. This is internal styling. Now we will learn how to add styling to the HTML elements with the help of internal styling. So to learn about internal styling, first we have to understand the disadvantages of inline styling. Then only you can able to understand the internal styling easily. First let's understand what are the disadvantages of inline styling. So already we have discussed about the inline styling. To apply any inline styling to the HTML elements, we have to write the style attribute. So for this h1, I will write the style attribute and I will add the background color as green. Suppose if you have one more h1 text, we have to write h1 with the value. This is second h1 text. So here also I will change the text. This is first h1 text. Control S. So for this h1 text also we have to write the style attribute. Style background color. For the second h1 text I want to add the background color as red. Control S. Now I am going to hit the refresh button whether the style is applied successfully or not. Here we go, we got the output as expected. The first text background color is green and the second text background color is red. Now I am going to add the third text h1. First I will write the text value as this is third h1 text. Control S. Now I am going to add the style attribute, background color. For the third text I want to add the background color as yellow. Control S. Hit refresh. Here you can see we got the third h1 text. Now I want to add the fourth h1 text. This is fourth h1 text. So for this fourth h1 text I want to add the background color as blue. Control S. Once again I will hit the refresh button. Here we go, we got the fourth h1 text. So if you observe the h1 texts here, for every h1 we are adding the style attribute. So it will take some time to add styling for all the h1 text. So to avoid this situation we have to use internal styling. With the help of internal styling we can able to add styling to all the h1 texts in this web page by writing only one line. So now I will show you how to apply inline internal styling. So let me remove all these style attributes. Here also I will remove style. Control S. Now I'm going to hit the refresh. Here you can see there is no background color for any H1 text. Now I want to add red color background color to all the H1 texts. In inline styling, suppose if you want to add red color background color to all the H1 text, you have to write style attribute to every H1 text. So now I am going to show how to avoid that situation. So in the head part, we have to write the style. After writing the title, you have to write the style. Here you can see this is the way to write style. Style is also similar to normal HTML. Here also we have the same syntax, less than symbol followed by the tag name. The tag name is style followed by the greater than symbol. If you want to close this tag, you have to write less than symbol followed by the slash followed by the tag name. You have to write the greater than symbol. So in between these style tags, we have to add styling to the elements. Suppose if you want to add styling to the H1 elements, we have to write H1. After writing the tag name, you have to write the curly braces. Here you can see, first we have to open the style attributes by writing the style tags. After writing the style tags, you have to write the tag name for which tag you want to apply styling. I want to apply background color to the all H1 texts that are available in this web page. So we have to write H1. So after writing the tag name, we have to write the curly braces to write the properties. The properties I am going to write is background color. Already we have discussed background color property in the previous lecture. So here also I am going to apply the background color to the H1 texts. So I will write background color. Here you can see background hyphen color. Now I am going to add the red background color to all the H1 texts. Value is red. This is the property name and this is the value. Property name is background color. Property value, the background color value is red. So if you execute this program, all the H1 text background color will be changed to red color. Let me refresh the page. Here we go, we got the output. All the H1 text background color is changed to red color by writing only one line. H1, the property name is background color. If you want to apply inline styling, you have to write style attribute to all the H1 text. So with the help of internal styling, we can avoid that situation. You can apply styling to all the H1 elements with the help of only one line. So this is the advantage of internal styling over inline styling. You need not to write style attribute to every HTML tag. You have to write the tag name and you have to apply the styling to that tag. So the styling will be applied to all the elements which are having that tags. So to understand this better, I want to create the different paragraph tags. So we have completed the H1 tag. Now we are moving into the paragraph tags. So I will write the paragraph tag as this is first paragraph. Now I will create the one more paragraph tag. This is second paragraph tag. I will create the third paragraph tag. This is third paragraph tag. Here I want to apply the blue background color to these paragraph tags. All the paragraph tags, not first paragraph, not second paragraph. For all the paragraphs, I want to apply the blue background color. First we will check the output whether the paragraph tags are created successfully or not. Here you can see we got the paragraph tags. This is first paragraph, this is second paragraph, and this is third paragraph. So if you observe the H1 text, they are already applied by the background color property. Now the paragraph's background color is transparent. That means the body background color will be applied to the paragraphs. The body background color is white. So automatically the white background color will be applied to the paragraphs. Now I am going to apply blue background color to these paragraph tags. So here instead of writing H1, I will write the P. P indicates paragraph. So here also we have to apply the same syntax. For the h1 we have applied h1 followed by the curly braces. In these curly braces we have to write the css property name and that property value. Here also we have to apply the same property because we are going to apply the background color. That's why I will write background color. So already I have said we are going to apply the blue background color. Blue. That's it. For the h1 text, the background color is red. For the paragraph text, the background color is blue. Not one h1, not one paragraph. For all the h1 text and for all the paragraphs, these conditions will be applied. These stylings will be applied. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. This is first paragraph, this is second paragraph, this is third paragraph. For all the paragraph text, we have only one background color, that is blue color, and we have applied this using by writing only one statement which is called as internal styling. So now you can understand the advantages of internal styling over inline styling. It saves a lot of time while developing the large websites with the help of internal styling. Suppose if you want to change the property value also, you have to change it here only. So for the h1 text I want to change the background color from red to yellow. And for the paragraph text I want to change the background color from blue to orange. Control S. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. After hitting the refresh button, the h1 text background color should change to the yellow color and the paragraph text background color should change to the what color? Orange color. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. For the h1 text, the background color is changed from blue color to the yellow color. And for the paragraph text, the background color is changed to the orange color. So if you want to add the background color or if you want to change the background color also, you can do it by writing only one statement in internal styling. So this is the main purpose of writing internal styling in HTML web pages. External styling. So internal styling and external styling are both are similar except one thing. In the internal styling, we have to write the styling for the HTML elements in the same page. Means whatever the web page you are developing, in that page only you have to write the style for HTML elements. Whereas in external styling, we have to create a separate file for CSS. That means for one web page, we have to create two files. First one is HTML file and second one is CSS file. HTML file is for developing the HTML elements and for CSS is for applying styles to that HTML elements. So now I am going to create a new folder in our front-end project folder, because as I said, whenever you want to make external styling, you have to create two files for single project. So we cannot create two files here. That's why we have to make separate project folder to learn about the external styling. So first I will click on the new folder. Our folder name is, I will write folder name is just project. So this is our folder name. Now in this project folder, I am going to create the first file which is for HTML. So I am going to write the file name as project.html. In this file, we are going to develop the components, means HTML elements like h1 element, p element, image element, etc. And as I said, we have to create the separate file for CSS because we are going to apply styling to the HTML elements with the help of external styling. External means outside the HTML file. So in this project folder, I am going to create the new file which is called as project.css. So this is the CSS file for project.html. As of now, we have not linked this project.css to the project.html. Afterwards, I will show you how to link this project.css to the project.html. So first of all, let me create some data in the project.html. So first I will close this project.css. Now we have to complete some formalities in this project.html. HTML. Then we have to write head. In this head, I will write the title as external styling. After completing the head part, I will move into the body part. Body. So in this body, you can create any element. You can create h1, p, anchor tag, any element. So for the better understanding, we have to use only h1 element because we are going to apply the background color property. That's why I will create h1 element. In this h1 element, I will write the text as this is first h1. Control S. Our program is completed. As of now, we have not written any CSS code. First, we have to execute this project.html to check the output. So I will open VS Code, not VS Code, Google Chrome. So this is our previous file link. Copy this link and paste it in another tab. We have to just make changes in the last link. So in the front end folder, our project name is project only. And our file name is index.html. We have to execute only HTML files. We cannot execute CSS file in the browser. We can only execute .html extension files only. That's why we have to write project.html. Press enter. Here we go. We got the output. This is first h1, or we can write the text as this is first h1 tag. Control S. Let me refresh the page. Here we go, we got the output. This is first h1. Now I am going to add the background color to this h1 text using the external styling. So far we have completed the internal styling and inline styling. Suppose if you want to add background color with the help of inline styling, we have to use style attribute. Suppose if you want to add background color with the help of internal styling, you have to write the style in the head part. You can see here we have to write the style like this. So you can write style, and in this style we have to write the tag name. Here the tag name is h1, and we have to write the property background color. I want to apply the color as red. This is internal styling. Suppose if I execute this program, here we go, we got the red background color. But this is not what we want. We want to apply the styling to this h1 element with the help of external page. Here the external page name is project.css. That's why we have to write the styling in the project.css. So first of all, I will remove this style part. Control S. And in this project.css, we have to write the styling for the elements which are present in project.html. In the project.html, we have only one element in the body, which is called as h1 element. So for this h1 element, I am going to add the background color property in the project.css. So here we need not to mention the style tags, because whenever the file extension is CSS, that means the compiler will understood that this page is for only adding the styling. We cannot create any components or HTML elements in this page. This project.css is only for applying styling. That's why we need not to mention the style tags. We just need to write the tag name for which tag you want to apply styling. So here we have only one h1 tag. That's why we want to apply styling to the h1 tag. I will write h1. So as I said, how to apply styling with the help of properties, we have to write the tag name followed by the curly braces. In that curly braces, we have to write the property name and property value. So as of now, we have used only one property because we have not started the CSS properties. We are learning only how to write CSS in the HTML pages. From the next video onwards, we are going to learn about the CSS properties. So here we have learned only one property, that is called background color. I am applying background color. Background color. So there should be hyphen between the background and color. So here we have to apply the property value. The property value I am going to apply is red. Control S. Let me check the output whether the red color background is added to the h1 text or not. Here you can see there is no background color because we have created the project.css, we have created the project.html, but there is no link to this project.html and project.css. That's why the background color is not applied to the HTML h1 tag. So we have to tell the compiler that please use the project.css styling for the project.html web page. We have to write one statement to understand the compiler. So in the head part, we have to write the statement which is called as link. So we have to write link. You can see here, this is the syntax of link, less than symbol followed by the link keyword. Here we have to write REL, that means style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. We have to tell the compiler that we are linking the external style sheet. In the href, we have to write the style sheet name, means the file in which you have written the CSS. I have written the CSS for this project.html in project.css. So that's why in the href I will write project.css. That's it. These statements state that we are using the styles which are present in project.css in the project.html. So we have to tell the compiler that I am using the external style sheet for the elements which are present in the project.html. The external style sheet name is project.css. We have to write the project.css in the href attribute. Whatever the values that are present in the tags that are called as attributes. In the link tag we have two attributes, rel and href. Rel means we have to tell the compiler that which type of file that you are linking. I am linking the style sheet file. Style sheet means CSS file. And in the href we have to mention the file path. That's it. Now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the output. We got the red background color to the HTML h1 tag. So this is the way to apply external styling in CSS. So we'll see one more example. I will create one more h1 text. This is second h1 tag. So automatically the red background color will be applied to the second h1 tag also, because we have applied red background color to all the h1 texts which are present in the project.html. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the second h1 tag with the background color as red. Suppose I want to create the P paragraph. This is first paragraph. So for the paragraph I am going to add the background color as green. So here we have to write just P followed by the curly braces. In this curly braces you have to write the CSS properties. The only one property we have to write is background color. There are many properties in CSS, but as of now we have to write only one property. Background color is green. For the h1 text the background color is red. For the P means paragraph text the background color is green. Now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the paragraph text with the green background color. Suppose if you create the one more paragraph text also, the green background color will be applied automatically. We need not to do anything because we have applied background color to the P with the green for all the paragraph texts. I am going to create the second paragraph tag. This is second paragraph. Control S. Now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the second paragraph text with the green background color. So like this way we have to apply the external styling to the HTML elements. So if you understand the internal styling and external styling, you will get one doubt. That is, here you can see in the body we have two h1 texts and two paragraph texts. Suppose if you want to add the red background color to the first h1 text and green background color to the second h1 text, how can we do that? So if you apply the background color to the h1 as red, all the h1 text background color will be red. So here we are doing that with the help of internal styling or external styling, but this is not what we want. I want the first background color h1 text will be red, and for the second h1 text I want background color to the green. How can we do that? In the next video we are going to discuss about that. The first way is inline styling, and the second way is internal styling, and the third way is external styling. So if you understand the internal styling and external styling, you can understand some disadvantages are present in the internal and external styling. Let's understand the disadvantages of internal and external styling. So let me open our previous project. Here you can see this is the project.html. In the body we have 4 tags. 2 tags are h1 tags and 2 tags are p tags. So here I want the red background color to the first h1 tag and green background color to the second h1 tag. So with the help of external or internal styling we cannot do that, because if you apply background color to the h1, that color will be applied to all the h1 texts that are present in the project.html. So let's execute this program. Control S, refresh. Here you can see this is the output. For the first h1 text the background color is red. For the second h1 text also the background color is red. So this is not what we want. I want first h1 text background color should be red and second h1 text background color should be blue. So to solve this problem we have to use the CSS selectors. So with the help of CSS selectors, we can solve this problem. So now I will create a new folder for our CSS selectors project. I am going to create the new folder. Folder name is selectors. So in the selectors folder, I am going to create our first HTML file with the name. So you can name it anything. I want to name this as index.html. And I'm going to create the CSS file index.css. So let me close this project.html. Now we are in the selector. Selectors is our project name. Index.html is our web page. Index.css is our cascading styling sheet, or we can simply call it as style sheet. Now I'm going to complete the HTML formalities in the index.html file. HTML head, the title is CSS selectors. And now I will move into the body part. In the body, let me create only one h1 text. This is about CSS selectors. Control S. So now I will execute this program. This is our previous project output. Here the project name is selector, and we have to write the file name as index.html. In the front end folder, the project name is selectors / the file name is index.html. Here we go. We got the output. We have only one h1 text in the index.html. That text is, this is about CSS selectors. So let's assume this is our lecture title. This is about CSS selectors. For the testing purpose, I will create 3 h1 tags. h1, this is first h1 tag, and for the second h1, this is second h1 tag. I want to create the third h1. This is third h1 tag. Control S. I'll hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. This is first h1 tag. This is second h1 tag. This is third h1 tag. Now I want red background color to the first h1, blue background color to the second h1, and green background color to the third h1. So you can write this styling with the help of inline styling directly, because here you can write direct style attribute and we can write background color. But here we are not discussing about the inline styling. We are going to discuss about CSS selectors with the help of external or internal styling. So first we will discuss about the external, then we will discuss about the internal. So external means we have to create the separate style sheet. Already I have created the separate style sheet with the name index.css. So first I will apply one background color to the h1 text. So sorry, here I will apply the background color for the h1. Background color is red. So after adding the CSS code, we have to link this CSS file to the index.html with the help of link tag. We have to write this code in the head part. First of all, I will press enter here. In the head part only, we have to write the title and we have to write the link statement. Link. The link syntax is link tag with the attributes, two attributes, rel and href. Rel means we have to tell the compiler that this is a style sheet, because CSS is a style sheet. In the href, we have to write the file name. The file name is index.css. Index.css. Control S. Now I'm going to execute the program. Here we go. For all the h1 text, the red background color is applied. Now I want to apply red background color to only first h1 text. So here comes the CSS selectors. There are two types of selectors in CSS. The first one is ID and the second one is class. First we will discuss about the class. So here class is denoted by the dot operator. First we have to write the class attribute to the respective tag. Here I want to apply the styling to the h1 tag. That's why we have to apply class attribute to the h1 tag for which you want to apply the styling. So for the first h1 tag, I want to apply the styling. After writing the h1, you have to write class. And here we have to write the class name. You can write any one name. Here I am writing the class name as X. This is the class name. You can write anything. For understanding, I have written just X. So for this class name, you have to write styling in the index.css. So you may got one doubt. You can, so if you write direct X curly braces, if you write background color red. Let me remove this h1. Control S. If I execute this program, here you can see there is no background color because we should not write the direct X. We have to write one operator. For adding styling with the help of class names, we have to use the dot operator. So before the X, we have to use dot operator, means full stop. So before X, we have to use dot. That means dot X means class X. So for all the elements which are having class X, for that elements the background color will be changed to red. Now I am going to execute the program. If you see the index.html, there is only one class for h1 with the class name as X. For the remaining h1 text, there is no class attribute. We have class attribute for only one h1 text. Now I am going to execute the program. Here you can see for only first h1 text, the red background color is applied because I have used the CSS selector which is called as class. You can see here for the first h1 text, I have used the class name as X, and in the index.css, I have applied styling to only .x means class X. So now I am going to create the class for second h1 text. Class Y. For the second h1 text, I have applied the class as Y. So here also I have to write dot Y. That means class Y. Here also I am going to apply the background color property. Background color, as I said, for the second h1 text, I want blue background color. Blue. Now I am going to execute the program. Here we go. For the second h1 text, I got blue background color as expected. For the first h1 text, we have red. And for the second h1 text, we have blue color. Now we are left with only one h1 text, that is third h1 text. For the third h1 text, I want to apply the green background color. So before writing here, we have to apply the class attribute to the third h1 text. Class Z. For third h1 text, we have class as Z. Dot Z. So here I'll apply the background color as green. Background color as green. So for the class X, we have red background color. For the class Y, we have blue background color. For class Z, we have green background color. So now I'm going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got all the outputs as expected. For the first H1 red, for the second H1 blue, for the third H1, we have the green background color. So if you see this page, we have one more h1 text with our lecture title. This is about CSS selectors. If you observe these tags, there is no background color for this h1 tag because we have not added any class attribute to this h1 tag. That's why the background color is just white. So if you create one more h1 tag with the help of these any class names, the background color will be applied automatically with the respective background color with the help of class names. So I want to create the fourth h1 tag with the class name X only. For the class name X, we have the background color as red. So the fourth h1 text will be added with the red background color. Now I am going to create the fourth h1 text. H1. This is fourth h1 text. So automatically the background color will be added as red because we are going to add the class X attribute to this h1. So now I am going to add class X. For the first h1 and for the fourth h1, we have the class X. So for the class X, we have added the red background color. Now I am going to hit the refresh. Here we go. We got the red background color. If you see, we have not applied any styling to this h1 element. We just have written class X as this attribute. So for the class X, automatically we have applied the background color as red. That's why for the fourth h1 text, the red background color is applied. Now I am going to create the fifth h1 text, and for that h1 text I am going to apply the class Y. h1 class Y. For the class Y, the background color is blue, I think so. Here you can see for the second h1 text, the background color is blue. So for the class Y also, the background color will be blue. Now I am going to create the fifth h1 text. This is fifth h1 text. Control S. Hit refresh. Here we go. We got the output. This is fifth h1 text with the background color as blue. Because for the fifth h1 text, we have given the class name as Y. If you see the index.css, for all the tags which are having the class names as Y, the background color will be blue. Now I am going to create one paragraph tag. So this styling will be applied to the paragraph also. Classes are applied to all the HTML tags. It is not permitted up to only h1, only h2, etc. You can add class attributes to any HTML element. Now I am going to create one paragraph tag. P. This is my first paragraph. Paragraph. Control S. Here we go. We got the output at the bottom. This is my first paragraph. Here there is no background color for this paragraph because we have not added any styling and we have not added any class attribute to this paragraph. Now I am going to add the class attribute with any one name. Here we have three classes X, Y, Z. So from these three we can add any one class name to this paragraph. Class. So already we have repeated the X 2 times, Y 2 times. Now I am going to add the class Z to this P. So if you see the index.css, for all the elements with the class name as Z, there is a background color green. So the green background color will be applied to the paragraph. I will hit the refresh. Here we go. We got the green background color to the paragraph. So we can say that CSS selectors are independent from HTML elements. If you write styling to the class name, it will be applied to all the HTML elements which are having that class names. So far we have applied the CSS selectors in the external styling. Means we have created the separate style sheet for the index.html. And we can apply these CSS selectors to the internal styling also. That means if you want to write the internal styling without this index.css also, we can apply the CSS selectors. In the next video, we are going to discuss about that. How to apply the CSS selectors with the help of internal styling. So in the previous lecture, we have created this separate style sheet which is called as index.css. But in this lecture, I am going to write the internal styling to the web page. And we can see how to apply the CSS selectors to the internal styling. So let me create a new project. I will write the project as int selectors, means internal styling selectors. Int selectors. The folder name is int selectors. Here I am going to create the file name with the value as index.html. File name is index.html. So here I am going to complete the HTML formalities first. After writing the HTML, we have to write the head. In the head, I will write the title. The title is, we can simply write selectors only. So first I will create one h1 tag in the body. h1. This is first h1. So as we learning in CSS selectors, that means we have to create more than one because we are going to add different background colors to the different h1 texts. This is second h1 text. I will remove this text. We can simply write it. This is second h1. So we have completed the class. That means class attribute. That's why I am writing the class. For the first h1 text, I am going to write the class name as X. For the second h1 text, I am going to write the class name as Y. So for this class X and class Y, I am going to apply the internal styling. As we already completed internal styling concept, So to apply the internal styling to the any web page, we have to write the style tags in the head. We have to write the style tags here. So it's very small topic. It's everything similar to external styling, but we have to write the style in the head part without creating the separate style sheet. So here everything is same. You have to access these h1 element with the help of class name. To access any HTML element with the help of class names, you have to use the dot operator. So here we have to write first dot. After writing the dot, we have to write the class name. So dot followed by the class name. Class name is X. So in these curly braces, we have to write the CSS properties. It's very simple. I am going to apply the background color. Background color as red. For the first h1 text, I want to apply the background color as red. And for the second h1 text, I have the class name as y. So that's why I have to write dot y. Dot y background color is. So every time we are using only 3 colors, red, green, blue. This time we will use one more color, yellow. So for the first h1 we have the red, and for the second h1 we have the yellow. Here we need not to write any link statement because we are writing the internal styling. We have to write the link statement whenever you are writing external. That means we have to write separate style sheet. So here we are only writing the internal styling. For internal styling, we need not to write any link statements. We just need to write the style attributes in the head part. In that style attributes, we have to write the access names. That means we are accessing the HTML elements with the help of class names. For the class names, we have to access with the help of dot operator. Dot followed by the class name. Dot followed by the class name. Here the class name is X. That's why I have written X. For the second text, the class name is Y. That's why I have written dot Y. Now I am going to execute the program. So where is our tag? So first of all, we have to execute this. Let me copy this previous link. Here I will copy this, and for this lecture we have the project name as, let me check it, I forgot, int-selectors. int-selectors slash the file name is index.html. Here we go, we got the output. For the first h1 text we have the red background color as expected, and for the second h1 text we have the yellow background color. We have applied these CSS selectors styling with the help of internal styling only. We have not created any separate style sheet, and we have not written any style attribute in the respective HTML tags. We just added the class attribute to the tags, and with the help of class attributes, we have added the styling to the h1 elements. So these styling will be applied to the paragraph tags also. If you want to apply, it's up to you. Suppose if you want to create one paragraph tag, this is my paragraph. For this paragraph also, suppose if you want to apply the red background color, already we have the red background color for class X. So you just need to write the class X for this paragraph. Class X. Now I will refresh the page. Here we go. We got the output. This is my paragraph. So if you change paragraph, that means if you change background color to the class X, so the both h1 text background color and p text background color will be changed. Suppose I want to change the background color to the orange. Instead of red, I want to write orange. So the first h1 background color and the paragraph text background color will be changed from red to orange, because here I am changing the background color of class X. That means the elements which are having the class X, that elements background color will be affected, means changed. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. After hitting the refresh button, you can able to see the output with the background color as orange for the first h1 text as well as paragraph. Now I will hit the refresh. Here we go. For the first h1 text and for the paragraph text, the background color is changed successfully. So like this way, we can use the selectors with the help of internal styling. Now we have completed the only first selector, that means class. We have left with one more selector which is called as ID. There are two types of selectors in HTML or CSS. The first one is class and the second one is ID. And we have completed this selectors topic with already internal and external styling. So in the next video, I am going to discuss about the second selector which is called as ID.
ID is also one of the CSS selectors in which you can apply the styling to the HTML tags. So first I will create a new folder in the front end, or you can apply the internal styling also. To apply the internal styling, we don't need separate folder because we are going to write the style in the same HTML page. So let's create only one file because I want to apply only internal styling. So the file name is id selector.html, because we are going to use the id selector in this page. Let me complete the HTML formalities. HTML head, the title is same, CSS selectors, Control S. Body, so here I am going to create one h1 text. This is first h1 text. So first I will execute this program. I will copy the previous project link and I will paste it here. So in the front end folder, the file name is id selectors. So there is something mistake in our link, id selector. There is no s in our file name, that's why it is showing the error. Once again I forgot to add the .html. Here we go, we got the output. This is first h1 text. So already we have completed the class attributes. With the help of class attributes, you can apply the styling to the HTML elements. id attribute is also similar to the class attributes, but there is only one difference. Class attribute is applied to many number of elements, but id attribute is unique. We have to apply one id to one element only. You cannot repeat the id to the multiple elements. Suppose for the first h1 I am going to write the id as x. So you should not use x anywhere after applying to the first h1. But when it comes to the class names, you can repeat the class names. But when it comes to id, you should not repeat the id names. This is the only difference between class and id selectors. So to apply the styling to this id, we have to use hash operator instead of dot operator. For classes, we have to use the dot operator. For IDs, we have to use the hash operator. So first I will open the style tags in the head part. Style. So to access any h1 element, HTML element using the ID, we have to use the hash operator followed by the ID name. Here the ID name is X. Similarly, you have to write the curly braces. In these curly braces, you can add the properties. The property is background color. Background color is, I want to write orange red. Control S. Now I am going to execute this program. Here we go. We got the orange red background color to the first h1 text. We have applied styling to this h1 text with the help of ID. You can see here I have just given the ID attribute to the HTML h1 tag. So I have applied styling to only ID attribute. For the hash x only, the styling will be applied. Suppose if you write one more h1 text, the styling will not be applied. The default styling will be applied to the h1. This is second h1. Let's run this program. Here you can see there is no background color to the second h1 because we have not added any style attribute or CSS selectors to this h1. The plain background color will be applied. So if you want to add one more background color to this h1, you have to create a separate ID. ID y. So here I am going to write hash y. That means ID y. Background color is blue. I want to apply the blue background color to the second h1 text. Control S. I will hit the refresh. Here you can see the blue background color is applied to the second h1 text. So here we are applying the styling using the ID attribute. Remember it. In the previous lectures we have applied styling using the class attributes. In this lecture we are applying the styling using the ID attributes. The only difference between the class attribute and ID attribute is for class attributes we can repeat the class names. When it comes to the ID, you should not repeat any names. Already we have completed the X. So here you should not use X. You should use only separate ID name. So that means ID is unique. Class is repeated. This is the only difference. For accessing, we have the dot operator for classes and hash operator for IDs. But when you are making any large applications, in majority scenarios we'll be using only class names. That means class selectors. We have to use only ID in specialized situations. In the previous lecture, not previous lectures, in the upcoming lectures, I will tell when to use class names and when to use ID names. Colors in CSS. Already we have discussed one of the color property in CSS for testing purpose. That property is called as background color. Now in this video we are going to discuss about all the color properties that are present in the CSS. First, open your code editor. I am opening VS Code. Here we go, the VS Code is open. Now I will create a new file in the front end folder. This is our project folder. Here I am going to create the new file with the name colors.html. Colors.html. Suppose if you want to apply external styling, you have to create one more style sheet file for this HTML file. So here we are learning all the CSS properties using the internal styling way. That means we are going to apply the styling properties in the same page where you are writing the HTML content, because external styling is preferred in only making the large projects. Here we are only learning about the CSS and HTML. So internal styling is preferred. So first I will create the HTML content in this file. I will complete this head part, HTML head. In this head I want to apply the title for this web page. Title is colors in CSS. After completing the head part, we have to add content in the body. So in this body, as of now, we have discussed only 3 or 4 HTML tags. There are heading tags like h1, h2, h3, paragraph tags like p, image tags and anchor tags. And we are going to apply these colors, CSS colors properties to all the tags. So first I will create a simple h1 tag. h1. In this h1 I want to write some text. This is h1 text. Control S. Now I am going to execute this program. Already we have discussed how to execute this program. We just have to copy the file path and we have to paste that in the browser URL. So my file is located in the local disk E in the desktop folder. The folder name is frontend and the file name is colors.html. So I will write colors.html. Here we go, we got the output. This is h1 text. As of now we have not applied any styling to this h1 text. This is the default styling with the bold black color text and the background color is white. Now I want to add color to this text. Initially the color of the h1 text is black. Now I want to change the color of h1 text to red or blue. You can change it to anything. I want to change it to the red color. How can we do that? So in CSS there is a property called as color, which is used to change the color of the text. So here we are applying the styling using internal styling. Whenever you want to apply internal styling, you have to apply the styling in the same page where you are writing the HTML content. Here I am writing the HTML in the colors.html page. So in the head part we have to open the style tags. In between the style tags only we have to write the CSS properties. So first I will open the style tags. This is the syntax of opening style tags. It is the normal syntax. First we have to write the less than symbol followed by the tag name. Here the tag name is style and we have to close that tag. So in VS Code it will automatically gives the closing tag also. So in between the style we have to write the styling. So as we discussed CSS selectors topic. CSS selectors are used to apply the styling when there are more than one same type of HTML elements. Suppose if you have more than one h1 tag, then you need to apply styling using the CSS selectors. The selector may be a class or ID. Here we have only one h1 text. That's why we need not to take the CSS selectors. We just need to apply the styling to direct tag name only. So I will write h1. So for applying styling to this h1 we have to write curly braces. In these curly braces we have to write the CSS property name and property value. Here we are going to discuss about the colors. So in the colors the first property is color only. We just need to write color. This is the property name and the value is any one of the color. You can write any color. So first I will apply the color as blue. This blue color will be applied to the text, not background. Here we are not applying color to the background. We are applying color to the text. Whatever the text you write in these h1 tags, for the text, the blue background will, not background, blue color will be applied. Now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. Initially the text color of this h1 is black. After refreshing, it will be changed to the blue color. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here we go. The h1 text is changed to the blue color. Suppose if you want to change it to the red color, you have to replace blue with red. Here you can see the text color is red. Now I want to change it to the green color. You can see the text color is green. So color property is used for changing the text color, not background color. For background color, we have the property name as background color only. Here the property name is just color. So you have to understand the difference between color and background color. Background color means all these background color will be applied. For all these data, background color is applied. The color means for only text, the color is applied. Now I am going to apply the color to the paragraph tags. We have completed the h1. Now I am going to apply the color to the paragraph. This is paragraph. Control S. Let me check the output. Here we go. Initially the paragraph color is black. Not only paragraph, not only h1. Whatever the element, whatever the tag you create in HTML, for that tag the default color is black only. So for the paragraph also the default color is black. Now I want to apply the blue, not blue. Already we have completed blue, red, green. Now we will apply brown color to this paragraph text. So here we need to create one more CSS tag, that is P. For paragraph we have to apply the color. Color. Single colons. We have to write color name. The color name is brown. Control S. That's it. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. After hitting the refresh button, you can see the output with the text color as brown for the paragraph. Here we go. The paragraph color is changed to brown color. So now I'll zoom down this window. So we have completed the color property for h1 and paragraph. Now we are left with only one thing, that is called as anchor tag. Because for the images we need not to apply the color. That's why we have to apply color only for text tags. That means the tags which consist of text. So anchor tag is also having the text. Now I am going to create one anchor tag. Anchor tag is denoted by A. So here we need to mention any one file name in the href. So I will mention the file name as paragraph.html. So after clicking the anchor tag, we will be moved from this colors.html to the paragraph.html. So this is optional. You need not to mention if you don't want. Suppose if you want to move from one page to another page only, you have to mention the file name in the href. Now I will mention any one file name, or you can mention direct Google link also. You can mention anything. Now I want to write the file name as go to paragraph page. The anchor tag value is go to paragraph page. After clicking the anchor tag, we will move from colors.html to the paragraph.html. So now I am going to see the output. Here we go. We got the output. For the anchor tags, the default color is blue. This is the special case. For the head tags or for the paragraph tags, the default color is black. But when it comes to the anchor tag, the default color is blue. Suppose if you click on the anchor tag, we will move to the paragraph.html page. So I will click on this. Here you can see we are in the paragraph.html. This is because we are applied the anchor tag. Whenever you click the anchor tag, we will be moved to the page which we have mentioned in the href attribute. Here we have mentioned the paragraph.html in the href attribute. That's why when we click the anchor tag, we will be moved from the colors.html page to the paragraph.html page. So here we need not to discuss about all the anchor tag definitions. We are focusing on only CSS. Now we will see how to apply the color to the anchor tag. So here I want to change the color of anchor tag from blue color to the black color. Initially the color is blue. Now I want to change the color of this text to the black color. So After P, I want to apply A. So here I will write color. The color is black. I want to apply the text color as black. Now I want to refresh the page. Here you can see the color is changed to black. Suppose if you want to change to, there is yellow green, I want to change to yellow green, then you have to write yellow green, and now I will press the refresh button. Here you can see the color is changed to yellow green. It's not visible, so I will write some dark color, red, Control S. Here you can see the color of anchor tag text is red color. So like this way we have to apply the color properties to the HTML elements. Here we have applied color property to the HTML elements using the tag names. So now we are discussing about the second case. When you have more than one HTML element with the same tags. That means if you have one more h1 text. Now I will create one more h1 text. Already we have discussed this topic in the last lectures only. This is second h1. Sorry, h1. So for the first h1 I will write this is first h1. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see for both the h1 text the color is green only. Here we need not to add same color to the both the h1 text. So if you want to add different colors to the different h1 text, we have to use the CSS selectors. You have to give any one selectors, that may be a class or that may be a ID. You have to give any one property or not property attribute, and with the help of that value you have to apply the styling to the h1 element. Here I am going to give the attribute as class. For the first h1 I want to give the class name as A, and for the second h1 I want to give the class name as B. So with the help of these class names you can apply the styling to the first h1 and second h1. Now I am going to access these class names in the CSS. So to access the class names we have the operator called as dot. We have to apply the style using the dot followed by the class name. Dot followed by the class name is A. So for the class names I want to apply the color as teal. Teal, not yellow. Brown. So for all the HTML tags where the class name is .a, then I want to apply the color as brown. So for the class names B, I want to apply the color as green. Sorry, first we have to write the color attribute. Then we have to apply the color green. So now the color of the first H1 will be changed to brown. The color of the second H1 will be changed to green, because we have applied the styling to these H1 tags using the class attributes. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Initially the both colors are green only. For the first H1 and for the second H1 the colors are green. After hitting the refresh button the first H1 color will be changed to brown. Here you can see the first H1 color is changed to brown because we have applied the styling using the class attribute. Here we have two H1 text. For the first H1 and for the second H1 we have applied the different colors with the help of CSS selectors. Not only for the H1 text, you can apply the CSS selectors for any tags. Suppose if you have the multiple paragraph tags also, you can apply the styling to the multiple paragraph tags using the CSS selectors. Now we will discuss about the second property, which is called as background color. Already we have discussed the background color in the testing in previous lectures. Now we are going to apply the same. So first I want to apply the background color to the .a, means class A. So for class A the color of the text is brown. Now I want to apply the background color as background color as yellow. So the text color is brown and the background color is yellow. Now I want to hit the refresh button. Here you can see for the first H1, not for the first H1, for the class X, not X, Y I think so, A. For class A the color is brown, and for the background color we have added the yellow color. So for all the classes that the name is A, then that class background color is yellow and the class color is brown. This is the difference between background color property and color property. Background color means full depth, not depth, width. Color means only the text color. So now I want to apply the background color to the class B. For class B, we have applied the color as green. Now I want to apply the red background color to the class B. Background color as red. Control S. Refresh. Here you can see for class B, the background color is red. So you can apply the colors and background colors simultaneously. Suppose if you want to apply the background color to the paragraph, you just need to apply direct P tag, because for paragraph tags we have not added any class attributes. There is only one paragraph tags. That's why we need to apply the CSS properties to the direct tag name only. When you have more than one element with the same tag names, then we have to use the CSS selectors. Here there is only one paragraph. That's why there is no need of CSS selectors. So for the P tag, I want to add the background color as blue. Background color as blue. Control S. Here we go. For the P tag, the background color is blue. Now I want to apply the background color to the last tag, which is called as anchor tag. I want to apply the background color as pink. Control S. Here we go. The background color of the anchor tag is pink and the text color is red. So like this way, we have to apply the background color and color properties to the HTML elements using the internal CSS. Suppose if you want to apply the full background color, that means you have to apply the background color to this total web page. You have to apply the background color property to the body. So here we have to write body. So I want to apply the background color as teal. Teal is one of the color. So here I am applying the teal color background to the web page. Hit refresh. Here you can see the background color of this web page is changed from white color to the teal color. Here for the first H1, that means class A, the background color is yellow, text color is brown. For the second H1, that means class B, background color is red and the text color is green. For the paragraph tag, background color is blue, text color is red. For the anchor tag, the background color is pink, text color is red. So now I'll make you to understand this by keeping the code and output side by side, so you'll understand better. So in the body, we have 4 HTML elements. The first one is H1 with the value. This is first H1 text. You can see here, this is first H1 text. I'm moving the mouse, you can understand. For the second H1 text, the value is, this is second H1. You can see this is second H1. And for the third element, we have the paragraph with the value. This is paragraph, and here you can see this is the paragraph. And for the fourth element, we have the anchor tag with the text go to paragraph page. Here also you can see the text is go to paragraph page. And for all these HTML tags, we have applied the internal styling. Whenever you want to apply the internal styling, you have to write the styling in the same page in the head part using the style tags. So in these style tags, I have written different HTML tags, because if you want to apply more than one styling to the same component, you have to use the selectors. Because when you have multiple components, you have to use the CSS selectors to add different styling to the different elements. So here we have 2 H1 texts. That's why I have created 2 classes. Here you can see these are the 2 classes, class A and class B. For the first H1, it is given that color is brown and the background color is yellow. You can see the color is brown and the background color is yellow. For class B, that means second H1 text, color is red and the background color is red and the color is green. So H1 texts are completed. Now paragraph tag. Here we have only one paragraph tag. That's why we need not to use the CSS selectors. We can apply the styling to the HTML elements directly with the help of tags. So I have applied the CSS properties to the paragraph tag directly. Color is brown. You can see the text color is brown. Background color is blue. You can see the background color is blue. and we have the fourth HTML tag as anchor tag. So here also we have only one anchor tag, that's why we need not to mention the CSS selectors. So for the anchor tag also I have applied the color as red. You can see the anchor tag color is red and the background color is pink. So like this way we have to apply the CSS colors properties to the HTML elements. Already we have discussed some of the text tags in HTML like h1 tags, paragraph tags, anchor tags, etc. So now in this video we are going to apply how to add styling to that elements. So first I will create a new file in the front end folder, text styles.html. So we are going to design different text formats in this lecture. First I will create the HTML body tags, HTML body, the title is styling for text, styling for text, and sorry, I have to apply the title in the head part. By mistake I have written body. Now I will change it to the head. Now I will write the body tags. In this body I will write only one h1 text. This is about CSS text styling, Control S. Now I want to execute this program. Open Google Chrome, local disk C, desktop, folder name is frontend and the file name is text styling.html. Sorry, the file name is wrong. Text styles, LES. Here we go, we got the output. I'll keep the both browser window and VS Code side by side so you will understand better. So I'll decrease the font here. So you can see this is the output and this is the code. Whenever I will press the Ctrl S, I will hit the refresh button here only. So you can see the both code and output simultaneously. First I will add the style attributes here. Style, I want to apply the styling to the h1. First I will apply the previous style properties. Already we have discussed two style properties, color and background color. I want to apply the color. So color is also related to the text only because we are applying this color to the text. So I will apply the color as red. I will hit the refresh. Here you can see I have applied the red color to the h1 text. Now I want to increase this size of the text. Already we have completed one text property. Color is also related to the text property because we are applying this color to the HTML h1 text. h1 is related to side headings. Side heading means text only. That's why the color property is also related to text. So we have completed one color property. Now we will be moving into the font size property. When you want to increase the size of this h1 text or when you want to decrease the size of this h1 text, we have to use the property called as font size. Font size is one of the CSS text property used to increase or decrease the size of the text. So we have to measure the font size of the HTML text using the pixels. Now I will apply some of the font size properties. Font hyphen size. We have to use hyphen between the font and size. After that we have to write the colon. And here we have to write the number, or you can select the direct names also. For majority scenarios you have to use the number. Initially the size of the HTML h1 text is 32 pixels. Pixels are denoted by px. So if you want to increase the size of the text, you have to give the pixels as more than 32. If you want to decrease the size of the text, you have to give less than 32. Now I want to increase the size of the text. So I have to give more than 32 pixels. So I will write the size as 50 px. Pixels are denoted by px. We have to write semicolon, control s. Now I will hit the refresh button here. Here you can see the size of the text is decreased, not decreased, increased. If you want to see the full screen output, you have to click this. You can see this is the full screen output. This is about CSS styling. If you want to decrease, you have to give size less than 32. So I will give 20, control s. Now the size will be decreased. Here you can see the size is decreased. So when you want to increase, you have to give more than 32. When you want to decrease, you have to give less than 32. So default size for H1 text is 32 pixels. So you can understand what pixels you have to give depending upon your requirements. If you want the big size heading, you have to give more than 32. If you want to add some smaller side heading, you have to give less than 32. So we can apply these font size property to both H1 text and paragraph also, because paragraph is also related to the text tag. So here I will create one paragraph tag. This is my paragraph, control S. I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see we got the paragraph text. Now I will create one styling for paragraph. P. I will add the color as blue. Let me hit the refresh button. Here you can see the paragraph color is blue. Now suppose if you want to increase the size or decrease the size, you have to know what is the default size of the paragraph text. The default size of the paragraph text is 16 pixels. The default size of the H1 is 32 and the paragraph is 16. That means the text size of the H1 is double than the paragraph. So here I want to apply the text size as 32. So it will become the text size similar to H1. Suppose here I will write font size as 32. The paragraph size will be looks like H1. So 32 px semicolon, control S. Here you can see the paragraph size is increased. This is my paragraph. If you observe here, H1 text is H1 text font size is 20 pixels. That's why it's looking somewhat smaller than the paragraph. Here if I remove this font size property, the H1 text will take the default font size. That means 32. Now I will remove the font size default. Control S. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see the both paragraph text size and the H1 text size is same, because H1 size default font is 32 pixels. P default font is 16, but we have given the 32. So both will look like same. Suppose if you want to decrease the paragraph tag size, we have to give less than 32. No, not less than 32, less than 16, because default is 16. So here I will give 10. So it will look very smaller. Here you can see this is my paragraph. So default is 16. If you want to increase, you have to give more than 16. If you want to decrease, you have to give less than 16. Suppose if I give 50, it will be very bigger. You can see this is my paragraph. If you expand this, you can able to see the full length output. This is my paragraph, and paragraph text is less than the H1 text initially. But here we have increased the size of the paragraph text. That's why it is looking bigger than the H1 text. H1 text size is here only 32 pixels, but we have given the 50 pixel size to the paragraph. That's why it is looking bigger than the H1. Now we have completed two properties, font size and the color. Now we are moving into the third property, which is called as text decoration. So first let me discuss about the what is text decoration. Let me adjust this output. Yes, it's looking good. So text decoration property is nothing but when you want to add underline to the text, then we have to add the text decoration. Initially, there is no text decoration for the H1 tags and P tags. H1 tags means all the heading tags. For H1, H2, H3 up to H6, there is no text decoration. If you want to add the underline to the H1, then we have to add the text decoration property. So now I want to add underline to the H1 text. Text decoration. You can see here text hyphen decoration. Here you have to give underline, value as underline. Control S. Now I want to hit the refresh button. Here you can see we got the underline to the h1 text. If you expand this, you can able to see the full length output. This is about CSS text styling, and we got the underline at the bottom of the h1 text. If you want to add the underline to the paragraph also, you have to add the text decoration styling to the paragraph. So now I want to add the text decoration to the p tag, text decoration. Here also we need to add the value as underline. Control S. Here you can see we got the text decoration color as blue. Text decoration is nothing but underline. So here for this text decoration we have two more values. Here we have discussed only one value, which is called as underline, and we have two more values for the text decoration. They are overline and line through. Overline means these line will be at the top of the text, and line through means these line will be at the middle of the text. So first we will discuss about the overline. So for the h1 text, I want to apply the text decoration as overline. So instead of underline, we have to write overline. So line will be at top of the text. Control S. Here you can see the text decoration is overline. Here I am going to hit the refresh button. You can see here that the border is at the top. That means we have applied the line at the over of the h1 tag. Suppose if you want to apply the line through, means the line will be at the middle of the h1 text. So I want to apply the line through for the paragraph. Already we have applied overline for the h1. So I want to apply line through to the paragraph text. So we just need to write line through, line hyphen through. Control S. So these line will be at the middle of the text. You can see this is used for line through. This is my paragraph. So these three are the different text decoration values: underline, overline, and line through. So these line through property is mainly used in e-commerce sites. When they apply any offers on their products, these line through property will be used for offers. Suppose if you go to the any e-commerce site, like here I will type Flipkart. Flipkart is one of the e-commerce site. So I will show you the example where these line through property is used. So open Flipkart official website. So here select any one product. Here I am selecting this Canon EOS. You can see here they are used the line through property. They have given one text and they are applied the line through, and this is the normal text and this is the text with the line through. So for showing the previous price, that means here these 24,999 is the present price, and these 24,900 and not 900 495 is the previous price. That means they are saying that these price in offer. So for these scenarios we have to use the line through property in CSS. So I'll close this window. So here we have learned three text properties: font size, text decoration, and the color. So there are many text properties or text styles in the CSS. In the upcoming lectures we will be discussing about the remaining text styles. As of now, these are enough. CSS borders. We will be discussing how to apply borders to the CSS and how to apply the styles for the borders. So first open VS Code. Here we go. The VS Code is open. Now I will create a new file in the front end folder with the name borders.html. I'll close this window. Now first I will complete the HTML code. HTML head. In this head we have to write the title. Title is CSS borders. Control S. Now after the head we have to write the body. In this body I am going to create the h1 tag and p tag. I will write HTML CSS bootstrap. This is the text in h1 tag, and in the paragraph I will add some data from the Google. So here I will copy the HTML definition. So I will type HTML Google in Google HTML. So from here you can copy the paragraph and we have to paste that in the p tag. So to see the entire paragraph in a single page, we have to we have to click on the toggle word wrap in the view. You can see here, we can able to see the complete paragraph text. Control S. Now I am going to execute this program in the Google Chrome. So in the next tab, you have to write our file path. So my file is located in the local disk E in the desktop front end folder. We have to write slash, and after the slash we have to write the file name. The file name is borders.html. You can see here we got the HTML H1 text with the side heading HTML CSS bootstrap, and we have one paragraph with the HTML definition. Now I am going to create the border for the HTML H1 text. You can see this is the H1 text. I am going to create the border for this text. So first we have to open the style tags in the head. After the title, we have to open the style tags. Style. So in this style, we have to apply the borders to the H1 text. So here there is only one H1 text. So we can apply direct styling to the H1 text. If we have more than one H1, then we need to access with the help of CSS selectors. Here there is only one. That's why I am not giving any selectors. I just write H1. For this H1, I am going to create the border. So to create the border, we have the property called as border only. We just need to write border. This is the property. So this border property takes three values. The first value is the length of the border. As we already we have discussed in CSS, we will measure the height, width, length with the pixels unit. So here also we need to mention the pixels unit length. So here I will mention 1 px. The border is 1 px length, and the second value is solid. Always we have to write the second property as solid only. And third property is color of your border. So I am going to apply the border color as black only. And at the last we have to write the semicolon. That's it. Border property takes three values. First value is length of the border, or we can call it as width of the border. And second property is we have to write the type of the border. Type is always solid in CSS. The border type is always solid. And the third is color of the border. Here I am going to apply the black color border to the H1 text. That's why I have given the color as black. So now I am going to execute the program. Then you will understand why I have given these three attributes or three values. I want to click the refresh button. Here you can see we got the border with black background color. The color of the border is black, and here it is 1 px width, or we can call it as height. Suppose if you want to increase the height of the border, you just need to replace the height here. You just need to replace the first value. Here I want to give the 5 px height. So the border height will be increased. Now I will click the refresh button. Here you can see the border height is increased. It is more than the previous one. You can see here top border, left border, bottom border, right border. So there are 4 borders for the any HTML tag. So suppose if you want to mention only one side border, instead of border you have to mention the size, not size, side. So if you mention only border, the border will be applied to 4 sides. If you want to apply border to only one side, means top, right, left, bottom, you just need to mention hyphen, and after the hyphen you have to mention the side. So after the border I will mention the hyphen, and after the hyphen you have to mention the side, to which side you want to apply the border. I want to apply the border to the left side. So I will write left, border left. So only the left side is applied border. So now I am going to hit the refresh button. You can see there is only border for left side. Suppose if you apply the border for right side, hence the border will be applied only to the right side here. Now I am going to apply it to the right side. RIGHT, Control S. Refresh. Here you can see the border is at the right side. If you want to apply at the top, you have to write border top. Control S. Refresh. You can see the border is at the top of the H1 text. Now we are left with only one, that is bottom. Control S. Refresh. You can see there is the bottom background. If you do not mention any side, then the border will be applied to all the sides. That means top, bottom, left, right. So if you remove the bottom, it will be applied to all the sides. Control S. You can see here the border is applied to all the sides with the length as 5 pixels. So you can increase it or you can decrease it. So in majority scenarios we will use only 1px or 2px. So here I will use 2px, so it will be good. You can see it looks good. HTML CSS Bootstrap is the text and this is the border. So you can also add background color with the border. Suppose if you want to add the yellow background color with the border color as black, you can do it. You just need to write the property background color yellow. Control S. So for the H1 text, the background color is yellow, border color is black. Sorry, something went wrong. Here the yellow spelling is wrong, that's why the color is not applied. Yellow. Control S. Here we go. It's looking very good. The border color is black, text color is black, and the background color of the text is yellow. Suppose if you want to change the text color, you just need to write the color property. Color as, I will write the color as red. Control S. Here you can see the text color is red, background color is yellow, border color is black. So this is the way to apply borders for H1 text. So it is similar to paragraph also. There is no change in the paragraph. You just need to apply the same properties. So now I will add the border to the paragraph. The property name is border, BORDER. Border. First value is length or height, 2px. Second value is solid, type of the border is solid, and the third property value is color. The color is I want to apply green border for the paragraph. Green. That's it. So the green border color will be applied to the paragraph text. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see the green background color is applied to the paragraph text. For the H1 text we have black background color. So for this paragraph text I want to apply the background color as orange. I will apply background color as orange. Control S. Hit refresh. Here you can see for the paragraph text the background color is orange and the border color is green. So we can apply both background color and border color simultaneously for any HTML elements. How to apply the margins to the HTML elements using CSS. So first let us understand what is a margin. We are going to understand this with a real-time example. So when you create a new H1 tag in any web page or HTML page, it will be look like this. You can see this is consider this is as the HTML H1 tag. We have the text hi, hello, how are you. In this H1 tag I have the text as hi, hello, how are you. And for this H1 text I have applied the background color as yellow and the border color as something like blue. Here this is without margin. This is the default H1 text with some applied background color and border color. That means without margin. Here there is no space from the right side and there is no space from the left side. It is stretched to the right side and it is stretched to the left side as well as. So suppose if you want to give some space from the left side or right side, then we have to use the CSS margin. Now I will show you the HTML H1 tag with the applied margin. You can see here this is the same text with the value hi, hello, how are you. Here I have applied the margin left. So the value may be something 20 pixels or 30 pixels, whatever it may be. You can see this gap is called as margin left. Here the H1 text is starting from the 20 pixels gap from the left side. Here there is these 20 pixels gap is called as margin left. So it will take some gap from the left side and after that gap only the H1 text will be started. Suppose if you want to add the margins from the right side, here this side will be applied margin. So now I will show the example. You can see here from the right side the margin will be applied. Margin is nothing but space. We can simply call it as margin is nothing but space. So if you apply margin at the left side, the gap will be at left side. If you apply margin at the right side, the gap will be at right side. And you can also apply the margin at the top and bottom also. While writing the code, I will explain how can we apply margin at the top and bottom. As of now, you have to understood using the left and right example only. You can see the both, not both, there are three h1 text here. The three h1 text having the same values. Hi, hello, how are you? Hi, hello, how are you? Hi, hello, how are you? So both three values are same, but there is only one difference between these three h1 texts. The first h1 text is without margin. You can see there is no gap between the right side and the left side. For the second h1 text, there is some gap from the left side. This is called as margin left. And for the third h1 text, there is some gap from the left, not left, right side. So here we will call this gap as, this space as margin. Now we are going to see how to apply this margin using CSS. So I will close this PPT and open VS Code. Here we go, the VS Code is open. Now I will create a new file in the front end folder with the name margins.html. So as like the previous lectures, first we have to complete the HTML formalities. HTML head, in this head we have to write the title, CSS, margins. After the head part, we have to write the body part. In this body, for the testing purpose, we will use one image tag or not image tag. We will use the h1 tag and paragraph tag. h1 with the title, this is JavaScript, and for the paragraph, I will write the JavaScript definition. So I will copy some text from the Google about JavaScript. I will paste it in the paragraph tag. So here click on the view, click on the toggle word wrap, so you can able to see the both the h1 text and paragraph completely. Now I am going to execute this program. So this is the previous program. You have to copy this file path and paste it here. You just need to replace the file name. Instead of borders.html, we need to write the margins.html. Here you can see we got the output. This is the side heading with the help of h1 text, and this is the paragraph. Now I am going to explain the CSS margins with these two examples. First we will apply the background color, or we can apply the border also. We will apply both. Style. For the h1 text, I will apply the background color as brown and border color as black. So this border will take three values. Border property will take three values. First value is for height, second value is for solid, and third value is for color. I will apply the color as black only, border color as black. For the paragraph, I will add the background color as orange, and I will add the border color as blue. Border, first value is length of the border 2px, and the second value is solid, third value is color. I will apply the blue border color. Control S. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the background color as brown for the h1 text. The border color is not applied, so there is something mistake in our code. So here I forgot to add the B. I have just written black only. You just need to write black. Control S. Here you can see for both h1 text and for both and the second paragraph text, the both border colors and the background colors are applied successfully. For the h1 text, we have the background color as brown, border color as black. For the paragraph text, we have the background color as orange, border color as blue. Now I am going to apply the margin left for the h1 text. You can see there is no gap from the left side. Here there is some gap. This is because of I have zoomed this window. If I zoom out this window, you can understand there is no gap. Here you can see this is the 90%. This is the default. So for the understanding purpose, I am zooming this window. That's why you can see there is some gap. So I want gap from the left side to the h1 text. Here I want 50 pixels gap. After the 50 50 pixels only I want to start this text. So here I have to apply margin left. So now I am going to apply margin left for the h1. We just need to write margin left. I will apply the value as 50 px. So after the 50 pixels only the h1 text will start. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see we got the margin. This space is called as margin. This length is 50 pixels. After the 50 pixels only the h1 text is started. Suppose if you want to apply the margin right also, that means you want space from the right side also, you just need to type margin right. Margin right, margin hyphen right. From the right side also I want margin 50 px. So 50 px gap will be applied from the right side also. Here you can see from the left side there is 50 pixels gap, from the right sides also there is 50 pixels gap. Like this way you have to apply the margin left and margin right for the HTML tags. So now I will do the same thing for the paragraph also. So for paragraph I will add the left margin as 100 px. I want 100 px gap from the left side. So I will add margin left as 100 px. Margin left as 100. So the margin about the h1 is less than the margin for the paragraph. Margin for the h1 is just 50 px, but for the margin for the paragraph is 100 px. So you can able to see the difference. Now I will hit the refresh button. You can see here. Here the margin is 50. Here it is 100. That's why the gap between the length, the gap between the left side is bigger to paragraph compared to the h1 text. For the h1 text the left side gap is only 50. But for the paragraph the left side gap is 100. Now I will apply the 100 right side gap also. So I will write margin right. Margin right. Margin hyphen right 100 px. Control S. So from the right side also there will be 100 px gap. You can see here. From the right side 100 pixels, from the left side 100 pixels. So like this way you have to apply the margin left and margin right to the HTML tags. Now we will discuss margin top and margin bottom. So this margin top and margin bottom is also same, but the gap is applied at the top and gap is applied at the bottom for the margin top. First we will discuss the margin top. So if you apply the margin top for the h1 text, here the gap will be applied for the from this header. For this h1 text the gap will be applied. So I will apply 100 margin top to the h1. Margin top. So from the top I want 100 px gap to the h1 text. I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see there is 100 pixels gap from the top to the h1 text. This height is called as 100 px. That's why the 100 px gap is applied to the h1 text. Suppose if you apply margin top to the paragraph, that will take from the h1 text. Here you can see before the h1 text only the paragraph tag is present. So if you apply the margin top to the paragraph, it will take 100 pixels gap from the h1 text, and after the 100 pixels gap from the h1 text, this paragraph text will be placed. Now I will apply the 100 pixels margin to the paragraph tag. So I will apply margin top 100 px. Control S. I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see from here to here there is 100 pixels, from here to here there is 100 pixels, because we have applied margin to the both h1 text and for the paragraph also. So now we will discuss margin bottom. Margin bottom is also similar to the remaining margins, but the margin will be applied from the bottom. So I will remove margin top first. Control S. Here you can see there is only left margin and right margin for the both h1 text and paragraph text. So suppose if you apply margin bottom to the h1 text, it will take 100 pixels gap from the next element which is present after the h1. Here the element which is present after the h1 is paragraph. So h1 will take 100 pixels gap from the paragraph. Here you can see it will take 100 pixels gap from here to here. Now I will apply margin bottom for the H1. Margin bottom 100 px. Control S. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see, here this gap is 100 pixels. The H1 is located 100 pixels bottom from the paragraph tag. So for the H1 text and for the paragraph tag, there is 100 pixels difference. This difference is called as margin bottom. Suppose if you want to apply margin bottom to the paragraph tag, there will be no change because here there is empty space. So for the empty space, margin will not be applied. Whenever there is any element after the paragraph tag only, then the margin bottom will be applied. So for the paragraph tag, we cannot apply the margin bottom. If you apply the margin bottom also, you cannot see any change. Suppose if I apply margin bottom as 100 for the paragraph tag, you can see no change. Margin bottom 100 px. Control S. I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see there is no change because there is no other element present after the paragraph tag. So there is no need of applying margin bottom for the paragraph. Whenever there is any element after the applying element only, the margin bottom will be applied. Here we have applied margin to the H1 text because there is paragraph tag element after the H1. So we can apply margin bottom. It will take 100 pixels margin bottom from the next element which is present the H1. Here the element which is next to the H1 is paragraph. So it will take 100 pixels gap from the paragraph. So now I will draw all the margins for these HTML elements. I will take the draw tool here. So for the right side here I have applied 50 pixels. Here also I have applied 50. And for H1 text to the paragraph we have margin bottom 100. MB 100. And for the paragraph we have ML. ML means margin left 100. And for the margin right also we have 100. MR 100. So now you can see the difference between all the margin. For the H1 text, the margin left is 50, margin right is 50 and margin bottom is 100. You can see this is the 100, this is the 50, this is the 50. For the paragraph text, there is only margin left and margin right. Margin left is 100 pixels and margin right is also 100 pixels. For paragraph, we cannot apply the margin bottom because there is no other element which is present after the paragraph tag. So there is no use of applying margin bottom for the paragraph. So this is the way to apply margins to the HTML element. We will use margins for the spacing purpose. Here we go, the VS Code is open. This is our front-end project folder. Now I am going to create the new file with the name height width. HEIGST height WIDTH width.html. So first I will complete the HTML formalities. HTML head. In this head I will write the title. The title is height and width. Control S. Now I am going to create some of the HTML tags in the body. So here I will create one H1 tag. This is H1 and I will create one paragraph tag. This is paragraph and I will add one image img. Already we have discussed about the image tags. So this image tag is having the first attribute as src. In this src you have to specify the image file path. Here I am going to use this billgates.jpg image. So I will write billgates.jpg. Control S. So here I want to use the height and width properties, not properties, they are called as attributes in the image tags. So height equal to, I will write 500 px, 500, and width is also 500. So it will be look like square image. Now I am going to execute this program. Open Chrome. So this is the previous lecture output. Copy this link and paste it in the another tab. So in place of margins.html, you have to write height width.html, HEIGHT width.html. Here you can see we got the output. This is H1, this is paragraph, and at the bottom we have the Bill Gates image. So for the better understanding, I will use the Bill Gates related information only. So in place of H1, I will write the Bill Gates name, Bill Gates, and in the paragraph I will copy some text from the Google about the Bill Gates and I will paste it in it. Bill Gates. So copy some text and paste it in the paragraph. Click on view, click on toggle word wrap, so you can able to see the entire paragraph. Here you can see we got the Bill Gates name, some information about Bill Gates, and Bill Gates image. Now we are going to learn the height and width properties using this output. So I will zoom this window. So it's looking good. It's better. So first I will add the background color for image tags and paragraph tags, because we cannot add background color for image. Image is also already having the background as the Bill Gates photo. So you need to apply the background color to the H1 and paragraph. So here I am going to use the internal styling. To use the internal styling, you have to give the style tags in the head part. For the H1, I will give the background color as orange, and for the paragraph, P, I will give the background color as which color? Green. Control S. Here we go. We got the orange color background for H1 text and green color background for the paragraph text. So now I want to apply the height and width properties for the H1 text. So here the height of the H1 text is required. Just it will take the required height from the user. Suppose if you want to increase this height of the H1, you need to give the height. So here I will give the property as HEIGHT, height. So here first I will give the 100 px. Every time you need to mention the units in the px, pixels only. Control S. So now I will check whether the height of the H1 is increased or not. Here you can see the height of the H1 is increased. Before it is up to this text only, but after applying the height is equal to 100 px, the height of the H1 is increased. This is called as height property. Now I will add the height for the paragraph. So for the paragraph, I will add the height as 250 px. So it will be more than double of the H1. So now I will click the refresh button. Here you can see the height of the paragraph is more than double of the H1. The H1 height is just 100 px. The height of the paragraph is 250 px. So you can see the difference between 100 px and 250 px. So for the better understanding, I will write the height and width here only. So I will take the draw tool. So this is 100 px. This is height is 100. For the paragraph text, the height is 250. So the height property is completed. So if you want to apply the height for the image also, you can apply, but we will discuss about the image later. First we will discuss about the height and width properties for only H1 and paragraph. So height is completed. Now we will discuss about the width. Height is vertical and width is horizontal. We have completed the vertical part. We have increased the height of the H1 and paragraph. Now we will discuss the width. So width is also similar to height only. You just need to replace the height with width. So I will remove these 100 and 250. Yes, they are removed. Now I will apply the width property. So for the H1 text, I will apply the width as 300. Width is equal to 300. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see the width of the H1 is decreased. Initially the width is complete. It will take the entire screen width for the H1 and paragraph. when you modify that means when you change it, it will be decreased. So here I have applied the width for the h1 as 300 px, that's why it is decreased. Now I want to apply the width for the paragraph. For paragraph I will add the width as 500. Here we go. The paragraph width is also decreased compared to the previous one. The height of the h1 is 100 and width of the h1 is 300. The height of the paragraph is 250 and the width of the paragraph is 500. So you have to give the height and width to the HTML properties or HTML elements based upon your requirements. If you want height and width to be same, you have to give the same height and width. That means you have to give the same number. So for h1 I will give the same number. So I will write the height as 200 and I will write the width is also 200. So it will look like square shape. Here you can see the height and width are same. They are looking like same. Suppose if you want to apply the same thing for the paragraph also, you can apply. You just need to replace the 250 with 500. 500 width, 500 height. Control S. Here you can see 500 width, 500 height. So now we will discuss about the image. So in image there is no text. You just need to increase the height of the image or you just need to decrease the height of the image, or it may be a width. So first we will discuss about the height. So already we have given the height and width using the attributes. Suppose you do not want to give the attributes but you want a height and width, then we need to give the height and width for the image with the help of CSS. Here we have given the height and width for the image in the attribute. Suppose if you remove these attributes, the height and width will be taken automatically by the browser. So here there is no height and width for the image. Now I will click the refresh button. So you can see the output, what it will be. Here you can see it will take the bigger image. So you cannot see this image in a single screen. So that's why we need to mention height and width for the image at any cost. You should not use image without mentioning the height and width. So suppose if you do not want to mention the height and width in the image tag, you just need to mention that in the CSS. So first you need to access that image. IMG, image tag denoted by IMG. So here I will write the height as 300 px. So in the CSS you need to mention px compulsory, but when it comes to the HTML part you can remove it. Width is also 300. Here you can see the height of the image is 300, the width of the image is 300. So here all the components, all the HTML tags are square shaped. Here you can see height and width is same for the h1, height and width is same for the h1. Here for the image also the height and width is same for the image. So when you do not give any height and width properties to the HTML tags, the browser will take the default values. The default width of the h1 is complete screen width and the default height is the text height. So if you do not give anything, suppose here I am removing the height and width for the h1. Remove, Ctrl S. Now hit refresh. Here you can see the width is taken as the default screen width. It was taken complete screen width and height is up to the text. So here we have given the h1 text. H1 text default height is 32 px. So it will take the height as 32 px. If you give height less than 32 px, the text will be shrinked. So now I will give the height as just 20 px. So height 20 px. So the text will be cut off. Here you can see the height is shrinked. We can see the complete text, but we can see only 50% of the background color because h1 default size is 32 px. That's why you just need to give the height as 32 or more than 32. If you give the complete 32, it will take the default width or default height 32 px. So you can see the complete text in the background color. You can see the complete text is in the background only. So whenever you want to give height to the h1 text, you just need to give the height more than 32 px. So now I will give the more than 32 px value. I will give the 100. Ctrl S. Here you can see it's looking good. So for the paragraph also, the width is default. The default width for the paragraph is complete screen width. So if you do not give width of the paragraph, it will take the complete screen width. Control S. Here you can see it's taken complete screen width. And for the height of the paragraph also, it is having some default values. So the default height for one line in the paragraph is 16px. So in this paragraph we have two lines. So we have to give at least 32 pixels height for this paragraph. So now I will give the less than 32. So we can able to see the background color will be less than the text size. So now I will give the paragraph height as 20. So you cannot see the complete text in the background. Here you can see some of the text is missing from the background because the one line height for the paragraph text is 16px. So here we have the paragraph lines are two lines. So you have to give at least 32 pixels for the paragraph. If you give more than 32, it's better, but you should not give less than 32. Suppose if I give exact 32, it will take the complete text in the background only. 32px. Control S. Here you can see we got the complete text in the paragraph. Here I have zoomed this window. That's why we have some text at the outside the background. So now I will increase the height of the paragraph 50. So we can see complete text inside the background only. You can see we have some extra background also. That's why we just need to give more than 32 pixels. For image, there is no text in the image, so you can give as per your requirements only. So like this way, you have to give the height and width properties to the HTML tags.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Like, comment and share. See you next time.